Hello, Bonsai Friends. This is Mike Lane of Kitsune Bonsai, and welcome to episode 20 of Little Things for Bonsai People podcast. This time I'm joined by Sami Amdouni from France. Hey, Sami.
Hey.
Today we will be discussing a few of his skills. He's specializes in suiseki, bonsai, origami, as well as he's a very accomplished pot maker. Before we get into that, though, I do need to mention that our podcast is sponsored by our amazing Patreons. We also call Bonsai Best Buds. And I want to give a special shout out to Tori Solis, Warehouse Rat, Boyd Snellgrove, Ricky Ruins, and Joshua Bentley. Thank you so much, guys, for being a Best Bud. And for other listeners, anyone can become a Best Bonsai Bud for only $5 on our Patreon page. Just go to patreon.com, Little Things for Bonsai People. But we do that for the first tier shout out as well today. Chris Brownwell, thanks for supporting the show. You're awesome. The podcast will also have its own merch. We have a few shirt designs created by friends of ours with Little Things logo to sport. Special shout out to Lee Dominic for creating our newest featured design. It says, I went to a bonsai workshop and all I got was this stump. So you can grab that at southpawcreative.com or Southpaw NOLA on Insta. But listening to our show is more than enough. And if that's all you can do, then like and subscribe. And we appreciate your support very, very much. So now I'm going to get started with our guest, Sami. He's joining us all the way from France. So Sami, how you doing today? I know it's kind of late for you.
I'm good.
Good.
And
awesome.
yes.
So we'll kind of get right into it. One of the things I'm very interested in, one of the reasons I brought you on is I follow you a lot on Facebook. And the first thing that I think I wanted to touch on is where did you study in Japan, and how was that experience?
I was in Japan for 3 months in Daijuen Garden.
Mm-hmm.
It's Toru Suzuki, the master of the garden. And I was with another American guys from his name is Dean. I don't know if you know it. Yes, Dean. And it was very cool, but hard, very difficult.
Yes,
very difficult.
And that's is that Shinji Suzuki's garden?
No, Toru Suzuki Garden.
Toru Suzuki's garden.
Toru Suzuki Garden is specialty is black pine.
Black pine. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, and I think his grandfather produced the first Zuisho.
Oh, Zuisho. I'm familiar with that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was in 2014, and it was difficult moment, but very, very good.
Yeah, I've talked with a few other apprentices from Japan, and I've heard it's very, very hard. So yeah, that's very, very cool. And so what kind of sparked your interest in bonsai as a whole? Like, what made you kind of get up and go to Japan for 3 months to learn?
Because in France, I started working with a Japanese master during 8 years.
Okay.
But only in spring and fall.
Okay.
3 days in spring, 3 days in fall. And after the work, I have less work, and I asked my wife if I can go to Japan for to touch the origin of bonsai, because in Europe it's look like we miss something.
Right.
And when I was there, I saw many amazing trees. Then when I back at home, I want to fire all my trees.
Yeah. I've had similar experiences, and I've also I've heard that once you kind of see Japan for the first time and you see their bonsai, it's just a different story, you know.
Yeah.
Um, that's amazing. So that's very, very cool. That inspires, I think, everybody to maybe pick up and ask their wives if they can go to Japan. I'm certainly going to ask mine.
Uh,
So when you were there, what was the biggest difference in, like, what was the biggest change? I noticed you're really into Suiseki. Were you into Suiseki before you went to Japan, or did you kind of develop that interest once you were there?
when I was in Japan, I just start Suzeki.
Okay.
It was I start by bonsai and after Suzeki. But can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah. So, how did you get into like Suiseki, especially collecting? I think what I really want to know is, how did you get into collecting stones? And like, yeah, I mean, that just seems like really, really cool. And I notice you always seem to go to a spot called the Durance River.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Is that a spot where you find some of your favorite stones?
Yes. When it's my daughter start collect stones, and at first
Nice.
I was not interested by stones, but when she likes stones, I go with her
Yeah.
to the mountain at first, and after she stopped interesting by stones, and I start collected stones. But at first, I thought French stones are not good. Mm-hmm. And Tom Nishiyama is a friend and my mentor in Japan. Helped me and teach me to like the stones of my area.
Yeah.
Because when it's the same for bonsai. When I start bonsai, I start by black pine, and now I prefer Scott pine.
Right. Yeah.
Because and I think bonsai or Suzeki at first we don't need to. I don't know. I say I think it's important. It's important to
like have our own identity.
Yes. Native Suzeki can be really good.
Yeah. That's and here in Florida, I'm in Florida of the US, and a lot of people think we don't have good stones. And
no.
And so one of the things I didn't know was that you sand them and you polish the stone, and there's a lot of prep work in like making the stone beautiful. And so after kind of following your Facebook, I learned a lot about, prepping the stone and bringing out that inner quality.
It's new for me too, because it's only a few years ago I learned that my country, the river of my town and the mountain have beautiful stones.
Yeah.
And now I try to learn, and then something else. Collecting Suzeki is to have the object. It's good, but when you go tanseki outing to collect stone, it can quickly become a bubble of oxygen, because
right,
when you are out, you can hear the water, see some animals, and it's really, really great for mind. And I think now I need it, not only for stones, but to it's like a meditation.
Right. Yeah.
When you are outside. Yeah.
See, I've ever since seeing your Facebook posts, I've been trying to collect some stones, and I've only found one that I really like so far, but I'm going to keep looking, and everywhere I travel, now I'm always looking for stones. So that's become a very fun part of bonsai for me, is I never even thought of that, is just kind of finding and prepping stones. So that's very cool.
Yeah.
So Where are some places that people can kind of look for stones from your experience?
A river.
Mm-hmm.
The river is, we can find great stones in the river, the mountain, the sea. I think everywhere, but a river is really great.
Rivers
and the sea, and the seaside, it's we can find great stones. And to find the great stone, I think it's important to know what search, what kind of stone we need to find.
Right.
And for this, I think there are many websites in. I know of Zana. Zana, it's a U.S. website.
Yeah.
And they have many great information by Tom Elias.
Yeah.
Tom Elias. Yeah, it's very a great website, and he have a very amazing knowledge.
And I'm sorry to interrupt, Sammy. Could you just say the website one more time?
Yes, Zana. It's VSALANA. I can write it. Wait.
That's okay.
Zana.
Zana. Okay, cool. I'm going to look that up myself.
Tom Elias.
Tom Elias. That part I got. Okay, cool.
And Monsieur Nakajima, Mr. Nakajima, it's a famous collector of stones in USA.
Mm-hmm.
Many great stones known in Japan too.
Very cool. Awesome. So that's and then did you teach yourself to carve the diaza?
I learned to make diaza with a video, with some advice from friends and magazines.
Very cool.
And I think diaza is very. At first, it's difficult, but after it's a pleasure to make diaza.
Yeah,
you find the stone, you create the diaza, and you try again, but for great result.
And where do you what kind of wood do you usually like to make the diaza out of?
I like. I think the best wood is rosewood.
Rosewood, yeah, of course.
But
yes,
that's very difficult to find.
Very hard to find.
One is very good. Very great wood is American walnut.
Walnut.
US walnut.
Yeah, I love walnut.
And US walnut, I think, is the best because it's a dark one.
Yeah.
It looks like the rosewood, and a maple wood, maple tree.
Yeah, nice maple. Yeah. Well, now you're making me want to go make a diaza for a few stones. So, all right. Well, let's. I want to talk about next is your love of origami. That's another thing that you're a multifaceted guy, and that's one of the things that also interested us to have you on the podcast. Is you're very skilled in origami as well. Now, how long did it take you to learn to make those kind of shapes?
I started folding origami 7 years ago. At first, it was to decorate my pottery shelf cells. When I sell my pot, I put for decoration some origami, and after I saw the potential to use them for display, for display with Trizeki or Bonsai. And I start to fold origami to other designers. Then I ask myself how they can do that, how they can create origami, and I start to make my own design. It's really cool.
That's awesome.
It's that I really enjoy to make origami and to when I want to create a display for Bonsai Show.
Yeah.
1 year before, I try to work on the design I want. That this year I created a rabbit origami.
Yeah.
For the new year.
Oh, nice. Yeah, because it's the year of the rabbit. Yeah.
Yeah. And awesome. For the next year, I will work for a design dragon.
Very cool. Very cool.
Well,
the first one
to success.
the first one I saw that I really fell in love with was the snow monkeys. That was yeah.
This is not my design. This is a Japanese artist.
Yeah,
and it's an amazing design. And I followed it for a mountain with snow.
Wow, yeah, that's awesome. I really liked that whole thing. That was the first one that got me into it, and then obviously I've been following you since. So that's interesting that you were doing pottery first, and then you started doing origami as a way to kind of, sell the pots or, make the pots look nicer. Yeah, that's interesting. So I guess the next thing I really want to ask you about is your recent successes at Trophy. I saw your beautiful pot was awarded at the Trophy, and the Ruri Crane pot. And so was that a difficult pot to make? I mean, I'm so curious how you even get that design so clean on there. You don't have to tell us any trade secrets, but we're
this is this funny pot because I created this pot I think 2 years ago, but I never glassed it because I don't like it. But it stay on my shelves and say, "Oh, what can I do with this pot?" 2 years, and when before the trophy, I say, "Oh, I will make a test for this pot to make the drawing. I made a crane drawing of the pot. I say I will test, and I fire it, and I say, oh, it's not so bad finally. And I sent it to the trophy, and I was very, very surprised by the award because I'm not sure about the success of the pot. Sometimes it's funny.
It's that's the nature of it is you never know what's going to come out of the kiln. You never know kind of where that next piece is going to be,
Yeah.
And so that's very interesting. So it's crazy how bonsai has seemed to really like given you a lot of different ways to kind of express yourself and be creative, not just with the trees, but you've seemed to have dove into every part of it that you can. That's very inspiring. So people who wanted to kind of start doing origami, where would they start? Like, what's a good design? Obviously, the old crane, I'm sure.
Oh,
what's like a nice place to start?
YouTube.
YouTube
is, I think, the best place to start because origami it's like alphabet.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like alphabet. And at first, the most difficult is to learn this alphabet. And the video on YouTube where people make tutorial, you have the drawing of the fold, and you have the hand of the people who teach you. I think it's the best way to learn. Starting learning easy models, and after try more complex. And it's good because you can make stop. And if you don't if you don't sorry.
It's okay. No, take your time.
Okay, it's difficult to understand. To understand the fault, you can return back and see it again, and
Right.
after, yeah. But origami is not so difficult.
I
It's
guess
really patience.
it's
You
kind
need time, and it's great for the mind because
right.
when I fold origami between when at work when it's time to eat, I stop and make origami, and after back at work,
Yeah, exactly.
it's empty my mind. Yes,
So it's something you can do just like to pass the time and something to keep
yes,
yourself
yes.
occupied. Yeah, that's cool.
Yes,
I've been intimidated to try it, but I think after talking to you, I'll give it a shot. Yeah.
it's it's really easy to start, and it's um, it's a moment for you. It's your moment. When you start folding, you are alone with your paper,
Mm-hmm.
and it's sample paper. And after it can be an animal or a bird. It's really cool. But you have to start origami. It's
That's
really cool.
That's cool. And so when you mentioned it's like an alphabet, that means basically, so once you learn the alphabet, you can kind of learn how to write your own words. You can learn how to make your own shapes, basically.
To create my when I start create my origami, I read a book
Mhm.
written by the U.S. master of origami, Robert Lang. Robert Lang is
Okay.
one of the master of origami, and the book title of the book is The Secret of Origami.
Secret of
And this
origami.
book, The Secret of Origami, and in this book he explains uh, the philosophy to create origami.
That's cool.
It's a really great book.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
Hey,
to check that out. I just wrote that down so that I can go ahead and get that from Amazon. That's very cool. So do you have any kind of words for our listeners going forward? Anything that you wanted to tell them about yourself, or about kind of your passion for bonsai?
yes. I, uh, I think for me, bonsai is art, and Suzuki bonsai, origami. For me, it's the same thing. How to express myself in form of art. Yeah, few years ago, in exhibition, a Japanese master passing in front of my display and asked me uh, what I wanted to tell with my bonsai. I remember it was a Scott pine, and I was disappointed because I don't have an answer at this moment because I just put a tree to do like the other people and
Mm-hmm.
put only the tree here with a small accent plant and never think about message or about and I was very surprised by the question. But after time, I say yes, all the art give a message to people. It's not important uh, if the people don't understand your message, but it's important for you to give it. For me, for me to give it. And now all my display is like an haiku, a
Yeah.
poem. Yes. And sometimes, last time I was in fall, I was in the garden with my son and watching the maple tree with red color. I went, so it's beautiful. And we heard I don't know if the good word goose
Yeah. Uh-huh.
wild goose. Okay, the wild goose. That's au-dessus. We have the house,
Mm-hmm.
my house,
Yeah.
And I say, oh, this moment was magic for me because I was with my son, with seeing the roots. And when I'm back at home, I keep with me a maple tree with red color, and I display it with a stone, hut stone,
A hut
house
stone,
stone,
yeah.
yes, with the Tanzaku painting with the goose. It was the moment, my moment. It's for me, bonsai, Suzeki, or origami. It's like a door I can open to be to relax after my long work or my long day of work. Or if I was sometimes stressed, I can express myself by this. That I try always to give a message, but maybe people don't understand for the moment, but it functions.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I mean, I gotta say, I'm deeply inspired. There's a lot that I really want to look into, especially with just your kind of approach and your philosophies behind bonsai. So, I guess I speak for all of our listeners to really express our thank you for joining us. Thank you for doing what you do and for being as passionate as you are. And we hope that you'll come back on the show and we'll be able to talk with you again when we have the other two hosts here.
Thank you so much. And thank you for you to invite me. And I'm really sorry for my English. My English is not so great. And,
actually, I think your English was awesome. I think you did really, really well. I think the listeners, I think the listeners will really, really appreciate it. So I'm just going to go ahead and close out our show. I want to thank our listeners again for kind of tuning in and listening to me and Sami kind of chat for a little bit. And we'll talk with you guys again soon. All right. Take care, bonsai people.
Thank you so much.